We're back with another political show. The Iranian crisis have escalated as Israel starts to attack Lebanon. With me to discuss that is Mustafa. Welcome to another show.
Okay, so Iran and Israel have escalated to the point where it looks like this war is about to go fully in, even though the U.S. is not involved. And we know that this has always been about Iran versus Israel. We don't have to argue about who started it, but these two countries are fighting for supremacy in the Middle East as the hegemon. But what is significant about this recent escalation is that it was, we could argue that it's provoked by Israel, but I'm going to say it was actually provoked by Iran, and it shows Iran's intention to escalate this war for one reason, because I think Iran now realizes that the U.S. and Israel are playing games, and their only intent is to split Iran into fractured parts, because they know they can't totally occupy the country into fractured parts, so that there is no longer an Iranian republic. So they have no choice but to escalate this war and get it over with, whether they win or not. Let's look at what happened. So what originally happened was Israel has been attacking Lebanon, and Iran has kept on saying that they're not going to sign any peace agreement so long as Israel is attacking Lebanon, because Iran takes its alliance with Lebanon and specifically Hezbollah seriously. So what then happened was Hezbollah sent some missile shots into Israel or drones. Don't quote me on that either. And drones or missile shots. Israel retaliated to Lebanon, and then what happened was Iran sent 6 salvos into Israel as a warning to an Israeli base, saying, if you continue to attack Lebanon, we're going to jump in this and we're going to fight you. In response, Israel took airplanes and flew over Iran, bombed petrochemical areas, bombed some certain architecture and stuff in return to Iran. Now, here's what Iran has been saying. Iran said, we warn you, by taking action against the civilian targets and targeting oil industries, the Zionist enemy has started a dangerous game, the scope of which will encompass all energy targets in the region, and the consequences for global economy are the responsibility of the main arsonist in this field, the United States. So what Iran is saying is that Israel, we know that the United States is getting you to do this. We just sent some salvos to you, and now you came in and bombed our architecture. If you continue, what they're basically saying is that we're going to take out all of the oil, petrochemical areas in the Middle East, in your friends' areas, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait. We're going to take all of those things out. And they've been actually striking those areas. So what Iran says, we're going to take all of those things out if you continue attacking us. All of this after Iran provoked this by attacking Israel. But I would argue that it's not a real provocation, because Iran is aligned with Lebanon. So they were in their rights to attack Israel, because Lebanon is a pro, let me use my words carefully. Lebanon is part of the resistance. Iran is part of the resistance. Yemen is part. So that statement there shows you that Iran is not playing, and they're sending a promise. So if Israel continues to strike back and the U.S. jumps in, this is going to lead to a paralysis of the whole area. And this shows you the asymmetric power that Iran has. Now, to make things worse, after Israel attacked Iranian infrastructure, Iran also sent ballistic missiles and hit petrochemical areas in Israel. So what they did was a symmetric response. They said, you take out my eye, I take out your eye. The world needs to listen to this, because what it means is that Iran is provoking an escalation, and they're promising to continue escalating it to whatever level Israel wants to. Meanwhile, Trump is on the sideline saying, please, Israel, stop. Please, Israel, stop. I feel like, does anybody believe he really wants Israel to stop?
Of course, nobody believes the US.
No, he doesn't. Please, Israel, stop. So you, on both sides, what we have now is Iran is willing to escalate this to the highest level. Israel is willing to escalate it to the highest level. The only thing in this equation is that it's only Israel and Iran that are fighting, and America is watching, eating popcorn, watching them both destroy each other. But I will argue that Iran has no choice out Israel, and even if America comes into it, because this is Iran's back against the wall. We start back with Obama making a nuclear agreement with Iran. Trump walked away from it. Then when General Soleimani was coming to meet with Trump's diplomats, they killed him and bragged about it. Then leading up to this new war, which started about 8 weeks ago, which started in February, while in the middle of negotiations for settling it, the U.S. struck, and they started off by killing little girls in Iran. And now they're saying, oh, we want to do a peace agreement with you. But meanwhile, Israel is butchering people in Lebanon. So what you're seeing with Iran is that they're escalating the war because I follow me, if you have to go for treatment for cancer or you have to find out if you have cancer, it's a scary thing, but you just have to do it because you have no choice, right? So what I'm arguing is that Iran doesn't want an escalated war, but they now realize that, and this goes back to the Brookings Report and the path to Persia, America and Israel have one goal: to obliterate Iran. So Iran has no choice. They don't want to fight. They're scared, but meanwhile, they will fight. And the reason they're defending Lebanon is because they know that once Israel takes out Lebanon, they're going to have even more leverage to attack Iran. So Iran has to act now because Iran is not defending Lebanon because they love Lebanon. They're not part of the resistance movement because they love people from Lebanon. They're part of the resistance movement because Lebanon and Iran and Iraq and Yemen know that whether they like each other or not, they have to fight together for their mutual survival against Israel. You see what I'm saying, Afalabi? What are your thoughts? So
Yeah,
basically,
absolutely.
what I'm saying is that
Absolutely.
Iran doesn't love Lebanon, but they're friends of Lebanon because they can only beat Israel and the U.S. if they stick together. What are your thoughts? Yeah.
Of course, I agree with you. Lebanon are strategic partners to Iran, and Iran has been boxed to a corner. And now they realize that this is an existential campaign, and the cost of passivity is far higher than them escalating. So they have chosen to escalate right at the right time. Lebanon is a strategic partner. They have every right to attack whoever attacks Lebanon. And if you look at the degradation of Hezbollah, it has left, in a way, Iran very vulnerable. So for the regime, failing to respond to attacks on its proxy network looks like domestic weakness and even regional weakness. So this has prompted them to choose a high stakes confrontation, which I think on the face of it is very logical over
It's very
just waiting, yeah, passively or waiting for some kind of discussion of stuff. So basically, they are looking at how they can raise the stakes and attack oil installations and infrastructure and continue to plummet all the Western allies in the Middle East, which has always been
yes.
the ace in their strategic plan.
And it's better that they start now than they wait for America to get stronger and Israel to get stronger and continually. If they sat back and just let Israel destroy Lebanon, every minute more and more of Lebanon is destroyed,
The
Iran becomes
weaker
more
Iran
vulnerable.
becomes,
And it gives
absolutely.
America more time. But by now escalating with Israel, they're doing it at a proper time where America has elections, the economy is bad, gas prices are beginning to go down again because of the peace treaty. So now it's going to force America to either tell Israel to stop or to join in. But basically, Iran has taken the first blow, and it was all set up by Hezbollah. Hezbollah sent missiles into Israel, as which they should, because Israel has killed more than 4,000 Lebanese citizens in the past 3 weeks. So basically, what you're now seeing is that Iran and Lebanon are becoming like Cassius Clay. They lure you, they do rope a dope, they go into the rope, then they give you a blow, and now they force you to punch. And at the end of the day, you'll be tired. So Iran is learning because they've been too passive. They allowed their general to get killed. They didn't do anything. They allowed the 12-day war to go, and they ceased the 12-day war after Israel tapped out and said, baby, baby, you're fucking me too hard. They stopped, right? Then they allowed themselves to go to peace treaty with U.S. and kill them and kill their little children. So Iran is waking up into its position as the hegemon in the Middle East. And the reason I say so is Iran has 93 million people. What does Israel have, 20 or 30 million? Iran is a bigger land space. Iran has its own budget and native weapons. Israel gets all of its weapons from the U.S. So without the U.S. involved, Iran would massacre Israel within a day. But the U.S. is 5,000 kilometers away. The more resources the U.S. spends to help Israel, the more U.S. will continue to implode within. So Iran has done this, and we're not saying that it's going to win, but they're giving them, and what Iran winning means is that at the end of this day, we will still have the IGRC, and we'll still have the Islamic Republic of Iran, which overthrew the unjust feudal system in the 1979, and there's nothing that the U.S. or Britain can do about it. That's how they win. If they lose, they'll be split into parts. But they give themselves the best chance for winning by escalating this war now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Iran is basically trying to expand the conflict, pressure the West by, basically suffocating commerce and economy along the lines of the neighboring Arab states. while they publicly deny any attacks on Saudi Arabia, but I think implicitly the threat remains high, and they'll continue to target energy infrastructure, civil hubs, commerce, and all of that. And UAE's Baraka nuclear plant too, and some other petrochemical plants are also being targeted. So Tehran is willing to hold the world hostage in terms of economy and commerce in order to force the hand of the West. And they don't mind doing this by raising the stakes, by, defending their, strategic partners, by attacking the enemy.
Yeah, I want to agree with you. So you made a brilliant point. So what Iran is doing is that they're sending a subtle Saudi Arabia. We're not coming at. They know if they help the U.S. as a base to send missiles into Iran, Iran will strike them. Oman is smart enough, and UAE is sitting down there. So what Iran is sending a message to you people is that the only way the U.S. can escalate this war is if they use the Gulf nations as a base. But Iran has its hands on the balls of other Gulf nations, and they will dare not help the U.S. You get my point? They won't do it. Second of all, let's not continue to. It's not you. I'm not attacking you. Let's not keep saying that Iran is only winning because it has leverage with striking these people. Iran is also winning because it has a multi-layered, sophisticated missile system which can beat America or Israel in missile warfare, even as we stand. So it's not just that they have asymmetric; they can beat it because what they do is they first of all hit drones and all those things and ballistic missiles. Then they send their they don't have precise missiles. They do, but they only use those precise missiles after they've overwhelmed you with the bulk missiles. So what we have to do is give congratulations to Iran for electrical warfare, which they probably learned from China and Russia, but for making the best missiles. And we have to remember that Iran has pound for pound the best mathematicians and physicists in the world. And war is no longer World War II where you use heavy airplane bombers. It's about missile warfare. So part of the reason Iran is whooping Israel and America's ass is not just because they can attack their allies, it's because they basically wasted the whole artillery of America and Israel within a couple of weeks, which is why the U.S. can't jump into the. What are your last thoughts on that, Afolabi?
Yeah, so basically, Iran are well within their rights to attack whoever attacks Hezbollah and Lebanon because they're strategic partners, and they have seen that sitting down in passivity comes at a higher cost. So I think it's a brilliant strategy for them to raise the stakes. This has always been an existential campaign, and I'm with them on this, basically.
Follow me. We're great. We're not only F1 analysts, we're geopolitical. This was our best show, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Like, share, and subscribe to
yeah.
Political Animal. You may not want to hear what we have to say, but we want to say it. And we want peace in the world. For there to be peace in the world, Israel and America have to take out their vampire teeth and focus on their population rather than on trying to use their racist agenda to overtake all of the Middle East with Eastern Europeans who they call Jews, who we know it's not true. This is not going to happen. White settlerism will not happen in this world. Take us out, Afolabi.
Okay, it's been another brilliant political show. We've been discussing the crisis between Israel and Lebanon as well as Iran. And for Mustafa and myself, we'll be back again with another interesting political story. Bye for now.
I'm pushing the buttons on them blocking us.